Okay, people, how you doing? You know what time it is? It's that Ichigo time. Yeah, final episode. Did the other episode previous. This is my last words. Now, this isn't. Excuse me. This isn't as spectacular as the previous episode. Um, a lot of things happen back and forth. Um, we get Yorichi's fight continuing with Askin. Askin thinks he's got like some kind of upper hand, and Yorichi just throws him across his waistline. But we do focus on Uryuu in this episode, and people probably were wondering of exactly why he did what he did, what is really going on here, and we get the truth in his flashback. First, he has a little fight with Ichigo. While this is going on, we get a flashback. So basically, what the story is: Uryuu's master, who is his grandfather, says Yuhabak is not a savior to the Quincy's. And the reason is simple. When he came back alive, not only did he take their powers of these Quincy's, he took their lives. And of course, we referenced this not only for Uryuu's mother, but Ichigo's mother. He took both their lives. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Uryuu did what he did in this whole arc, in this whole situation. So basically, he was pushing them away, trying to kill Yuha. So basically, the fight continues with Ichigo. Majority of the time, we get the flashback. I thought it was done very well, very classy, very what they did. See Uryuu in the rain. He has this fight with Ichigo. Eventually, this leads into he telling Ichigo the truth. Now, at this time, of course, freaking Hoshwell knows everything because he has Almighty. um, so he knows this. He tells Uryuu he destroyed the Sun Gate because the whole bit was that Uryuu was going to tell Ichigo and his friends to go through the Sun Gate back to the world of living. He destroyed it. Hoshwell did. And he knows, oh, that's what you did. And that's when they start fighting. Now, that was like towards the end of the episode. The other parts of the episode, we got sprinkled in a few things. Nothing too crazy. As I told you before, Yorichi continues fighting with Askin, throws him, just like does that the techniques he did. I see he says, I already found this. Like, yeah, I know. Boom! Blast you in the face, throw you across with your, like, she's got her legs around his neck and just throws him with her, kind of like a thing. And goes and sees her brother. Now, that happened. We get the Vizards. Woo! Suji and the gang back together with the masks. Yeah, little action there. They show up and they fight the Miracle. This is just eating up time. That's all this really is. They don't really do much against the Miracle, as to be expected. But this is where I also forgot to mention in the last episode, Renji, he got healed by them after his fight with Uryuu. So, yeah, there's that. But they end up fighting the Miracle. So, right, Yorichi. We also get an interesting scene. Well, two interesting scenes. One with the Fullbringers, with them going back to the Soul Society. Ruka and the gamer kid. And we get what is... It's basically the remnants of Borrow. You know, sniper dude who looked like a bird. The remnants of his body rained down onto Soul Society. And they start killing people. But then, here comes someone from the shadows to kill one of them. It's Kira Isshin. The guy who's... And he just stands there and saying... The bird people things and saying, oh, who are you? I'm a dead man. There's a big hole inside. I'm like, what the hell? My guess is my Uryuu shenanigans took place and they brought him back to life. God. And then we get a scene of Aizen. He's just sitting in his chair. And we get that whole scene happening. Now, while this is also happening, we see Ichigo going up the stairs. We get a bunch of other characters, a bunch of other scenes. And we get this scene. By my recollection. Bank on this. Bank on this as far as I know. Isshin, Kurosaki, and Ryuken being Uryuu's father, and Isshin being Ichigo's father, were not involved in the final arc of... Right here. But they show up, and that's where we kind of ended. Now, we see Hitsugaya, we see Mayuri, we see a bunch of other characters. From my recollection, Hitsugaya is most likely going to fight the Miracle. Yoruichi's fight is going to continue with this Asking guy. I think some other characters get involved in that fight. Really, there's not really that many Stormers left. It's really just Askin, Miracle, yeah, those two guys, and you got Hashwal, who's fighting Uryuu. Now, like I said, their role in this, I don't know. Because I don't recall them being in the manga in any aspect. I mean, they were when it concerned the flashbacks. You know, shown here and there, Ryuken and Isshin. And there was some connective tissue here and there with Ryuken or with Uryuu. But by my recollection, as far as the final arc, the final battle is concerned, they were not shown. They had zero. There was zero involvement. They were not there. So this is a surprise to me. Overall, 9 out of 10 for this one. They had some filler at the end with Askin. Because the episode was only like 15 minutes. So I was like, okay. So the rest was just eaten up by Askin just saying, balance, I'm a JoJo character. Listen, I'm sorry. Kubo obviously was looking at JoJo when you hit this guy. I'm sorry. It's true. To my dying breath, I truly believe that. But he's just talking all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And saying you should watch and what have you. Now, I want to bring up one thing. Now, I give this a 9 out of 10. The whole season, I give a 9 out of 10. However, I'm making this plea. I'm looking at you, Kubo, and Studio Period. If this anime is going to give the justice that it needs to be given to Bleach, to this arc, to this ending, are a few things that need to be done. 2 characters, in my opinion, have bankais that are shown. Give these characters their justice and allow us to see these bankais. This is a manga viewer talking now, who's read the manga, who's read this arc. Give the justice what needs to be done. Also, the climax, it has to make sense. It has to make sense. You cannot do exactly what's being done that you did in the manga, which, from my understanding, is going to happen in part 4. They're going to have a bunch of new details, a bunch of new content that was not shown in the manga. So, my plea and pray, just make it make sense. Make the conclusion make sense. Make everything that all these different characters are doing make sense. Let's fill in these plot holes, Kubo and Period. You gotta fill these in. You have to fill them in. You have to make it make sense so that I can say, okay, this was a good arc. This was done very nicely. And it was done to the utmost ability that it could. But overall, good season. Now we wait again. But what will be the final part of the final arc of Bleach, which might get a sequel, I think. There's rumors that there's going to be a sequel, something having to do with hell. I don't know what, but I heard. So this is Bankai 922. Support Bleach, man! Gotta support it. I'll catch you guys later.